A series of Fox 8 investigations. State lawmakers will hear a proposal tomorrow that would strip nonprofits of their tax-exempt status if they own potentially dangerous homes or apartments.
Our reports expose the living conditions at apartments owned by a controversial religious nonprofit, prompting State Rep Jason Hughes to file this proposed change to the state constitution.
Winnie Boyd lives at the Willows in New Orleans East. Tuesday, she sent us these pictures of the ceiling in her living room. She says this spot is covered in mold, and she's got a plastic bag over it to prevent water from leaking onto her floor. We first met Winnie last October.
If the owner is owning this, he needs to have his behind come from Tennessee or wherever he's coming from and come see his property.
Our extensive reporting on the Willows, Park Fontaine in Algiers, and the Belmont Apartments in Metairie showed what residents describe as deplorable living conditions.
Me and my sisters are getting sick. My mama, she's doing a lot, but there's not much you can do. Like, all this is kind of a mess for 5 kids to live in here.
The ceiling was poking. So as the ceiling was poking, within seconds, it had turned into that. So that was it.
What if you had been standing right there?
Exactly. I mean, or even my grandkids, it would have been horrible.
Global Ministries Foundation, or GMF Preservation of Affordability Corporation, a religious nonprofit out of Tennessee, owns all 3 complexes. Because it's a nonprofit, GMF doesn't pay a dime in property taxes.
At the end of the day, they're slumlords. They are not doing right by residents, and they do not deserve public money.
Our reporting prompted State Rep Jason Hughes to propose a constitutional amendment. It would give the power to local municipalities to determine if a property owned by a nonprofit is a health or safety risk. If it is, the tax-exempt status could be pulled.
That would give the city council the authority to force the Willows to pay property tax.
We found tax documents for GMF for 2019 that show the nonprofit brought in more than $42 million in revenue from all of its housing complexes across the country. Now, Hughes argues the nonprofit used some of that money to pay property taxes if it can't maintain a safe environment for locals to live in.
Tomorrow morning, the proposal will be heard by lawmakers in the House Ways and Means Committee. If it passes the committee, it moves to the full House for a vote. If this proposal passes the legislature, it would be put on the October ballot to let voters decide if a change to the state constitution is warranted. If you've got a consumer complaint you'd like us to look into, call the Fox 8 Defenders, staffed with volunteers from the National Council of Jewish Women, or fill out our online complaint form.